Please all rise for the opening prayer to be led by Associate Professor Evangeline E. Timbang, MBA, the Public Relations Officer of the UST Graduate School Alumni and Grants Association, Incorporated.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of our dear Lord. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear God, we implore your blessings on our ceremony this evening for our alumni awardees, the Thomasian administrators, alumni associations, organizers, our families, our friends, and the communities we serve. We desire for your divine providence as we recognize our Thomasian alumni achievers in their continuous pursuit for excellence through their hard work, dedication, and passion to serve. Through this recognition, we celebrate their commitment, their competence, their compassion as Thomasians, with you, Lord, as the source of inspiration. We thank you, dear Lord, for our families, for the fountain of love and support, nurturing us to become instrument of peace and progress in our communities. We thank you, dear Lord, for our University of Santo Tomas, for providing us a second home, nurturing us with love and care, knowledge, values, and spiritual guidance throughout our academic journeys. Most of all, we thank you, dear Lord, for sustaining us in times of pain, worries, distress, and disruptions, and for being with us in the moments of success, hope, joy, and celebration. Lord, you never leave us. Instead, you continue to bless us with strength of mind, body, and spirit, with the gift of intellect, heart, and soul. This evening, we express our gratefulness to you as we celebrate your goodness through our total awards. Let this award serve as the good news to others, so people will hear of you, believe in you, and find joy of knowing you. We pray that you continue to bless us and guide us. To you, our Lord, be the glory. Saint Thomas Aquinas, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please remain standing for the Philippine National Anthem. Now be seated. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Outstanding Thomasian Alumni or Total Awards 2022. My name is Maita Oebanda, and I am your host for this evening's momentous event. Thank you for being here today. I hope you're all having a great time as we celebrate this meaningful occasion. And we would like to say thank you for joining us, especially in this time of change, transition, new normal, in the light of COVID, in the light of everything that our nation is going through, one thing remains solid and steadfast: our university. Please give yourselves a big hand for being here tonight and for being the Thomasian alumni we can always count on and depend upon to continue our legacy in this nation's history. We would like to take a moment to acknowledge the presence of our administrators. The Very Reverend Father Richard G. Ang, OP, PhD, Rector. Reverend Father Isaias D. Tionco, OP, JCD, Vice Rector. Reverend Father Roberto L. Luanzon Jr., OP, STHD, DL, Vice Rector for Finance. Reverend Father Pablo T. Tiong, OP, Vice Rector for Religious Affairs. Professor Cheryl R. Peralta, DRPH, Vice Rector for Academic Affairs. Reverend Father Louis R. Coronel, OP, EHL, Secretary General. And Reverend Father Janelle Abogado, OP, DTPS, Acting Vice Rector for Research and Innovation. We would also like to acknowledge our Dominican Fathers, as well as the Director of the Office of Public Affairs, Assistant Professor Joreen T. Rocamora, PhD. We are all gathered here tonight to recognize the significant accomplishments of our alumni who have embodied and exemplified the Thomasian core values in their respective fields of expertise: competence in pioneering human endeavors, commitment to their profession, and compassion for others. Likewise, this is an opportune time to be grateful for their valuable contributions to our dear alma mater and to our country, worthy of being looked up to as role models to their fellow alumni, students, and the entire Thomasian community. And to formally start our ceremony, allow me to introduce to you the Director of the Office of Alumni Relations, Assistant Professor Fredeswindo R. Medina, to deliver his welcome remarks for tonight's event. Let's give him a warm round of applause.
Very Reverend Father Richard G. Ang, OP, PhD, Rector. Reverend Father Isaias D. Chonco, OP-JCT, Vice Rector. Reverend Father Roberto L. Luanzon Jr., OP-STHD, DL, Vice Rector for Finance. Reverend Father Louis R. Coronel, OP-EHL, Secretary General. Professor Cheryl R. Peralta, DRPH, Vice Rector for Academic Affairs. Dominican Fathers, beloved Deans and Regents, Dr. Joreen Rocamora, Director of the Office for Public Affairs, Alumni Association Presidents and Officers, Thomasian alumni, guests, friends, a blessed and pleasant evening to all. It is such an honor for me to speak in front of our prominent Thomasian alumni who brought much pride to our alma mater through their significant accomplishments and contributions. They are our source of inspiration and hope, especially in this time of challenging situations. They serve as our role models as we aspire to become the best version of ourselves and great mentors as we engage in lifelong learning. We are truly grateful to these individuals because of their utmost support and love for UST. They never forget to look back, not only to reminisce their fondest experience in UST, but also to express their willingness to reconnect ties with their alma mater and share their knowledge and expertise. Today, we are all gathered here to celebrate the achievements of our alumni, particularly the Outstanding Thomasian Alumni Awardees. After 6 long years, it is high time for the University of Santo Tomas to once again give them due recognition for their legacy of excellence and for exemplifying the core values of the university. As we commence this momentous gathering, let us all remember that our alumni are one of the many important reasons why UST has been existing actively, competently, and gracefully for more than 400 years. They are and will always be the pillars of excellence of the Pontifical, Royal, and Catholic University of Santo Tomas. With this, I welcome you all to the 2022 The Outstanding Thomasian Alumni Awards. May you have a wonderful evening, and together, let us join our dearly beloved and exceptional alumni in celebrating life and success. Thank you very much, and God bless us all.
Thank you, Assistant Professor Medina, for that heartwarming welcome message. Indeed, the Total Awards is the highest honor bestowed by the university to her alumni. The prestige and distinction it holds come with very competitive credentials that were rigorously reviewed and evaluated, as well as a great sense of responsibility for the deserving recipient of the award. To give us a background of tonight's event, let me introduce to you the President of the UST Alumni Association Incorporated, Professor Evelyn A. Sonko, PhD.
Reverend Father Dr. Richard G. Ang, Rector of our university, Reverend Father Isaias Tionco, OP, Vice Rector, Reverend Father Louis Coronel, OP, Secretary General, Reverend Father Pablo Tiong, OP, Vice Rector for Religious Affairs, Professor Cheryl Peralta, PhD, Vice Rector for Academic Affairs, and Reverend Father Roberto Luanson, Jr., Vice Rector for Finance, Professor Frediswindo Medina, Director of the Office for Alumni Relations, Reverend Fathers, Regents, and of course, our beloved Deans, Dean Henry S. Tenedero, the Chairman of the USTAAI Board of Trustees, Honorable Awardees, the Alumni Association Presidents, and the officers, and ladies and gentlemen, friends, good evening. Today is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. And this is the day that is ending with a beautiful note of recognition, appreciation, and inspiration, because we are gathered to honor our dear awardees. Ang araw pong ito ay para sa inyo, dahil sa inyong kagitingan, kagalingan, katapatan. Ipinakita po ninyo ang inyong kagitingan sa pagharap sa bawat hamon ng buhay, sa pagharap ng hamon ng inyong propesyon. Kagalingan sa inyong pagtatagumpay sa larangan ng inyong propesyon. At katapatan sa inyong pagsisilbi sa bayan at sa simbahan. And so today, we celebrate because your alma mater, our alma mater, is awarding you the highest honor it gives to any individual alumna or alumnus. As the university believes also in the significant role of the family in the society, it gives special recognition to Thomasian family, kagitingan, kagalingan, katapatan put together result to kadakilaan, greatness. And greatness is always rooted on excellence. Aristotle once said, excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent execution. It represents a wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Choice is you chose to be excellent in your life and in your profession. I believe that as we celebrate tonight alumni excellence that reflects the age-old tradition of excellence of our alma mater, we are also celebrating her fidelity to the mandate of a Catholic university. In the Apostolic Constitution on the Catholic Universities, Pope John Paul II wrote how Catholic universities should prepare students who are the future alumni. In the Catholic universities, students are challenged to pursue an education that combines excellence in humanistic and cultural development with specialized professional training. Most especially, they are challenged to continue the search for truth and for meaning throughout their lives. And since the human spirit must be cultivated in such a way that there results a growth in its ability to wonder, to understand, to contemplate, to make personal judgments, and to develop a moral, religious, and social sense. This enables them to acquire, or if they have not already done so, to deepen the Christian way of life that is authentic. They should realize the responsibility of their professional life, the enthusiasm of being the trained leaders of tomorrow, of being witnesses to Christ in whatever place they may exercise their profession. Our honorable awardees, you are the realization of this mandate, and we are very proud of you. And so, in behalf of the USTAAI, I thank the Father Rector for partnering with us, the USTAAI, in the conduct of the 2022 Total Awards. And I would like to congratulate the 2022 Total Awards Organizing Committee, headed by Dr. Rolio Milante, Chair of the Tomasinong Bicolano. May I please request you to stand up, please, sir? And, of course, the Selection Committee, chaired by Justice Teresita V. Diaz-Baldos, 2016 Total Awardee. The selection was very rigid, and they really had very long reflective moments and discussions. To our awardees, big congratulations. We are very proud of you, and we all look up to you, and we pray that you continue to be competent, compassionate, and committed as you inspire the whole Thomasian community. Mabuhay ang mga Tomasino, mabuhay ang pamantasan ng Santo Tomas. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Muli, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Dr. Sonko, for walking us through the details of the Total Awards. Certainly, both our past and present awardees have so many stories to tell us about their journey towards becoming Outstanding Thomasian Alumni. At this juncture, we have come to the much-awaited part of our program, the conferment of the 2022 Total Awards. Without further ado, may I call on stage our beloved Rector, the Very Reverend Father Richard G. Ang, OP, PhD, the Office of Alumni Relations Director, Assistant Professor Fredeswindo R. Medina, MA-CHS, and Professor Evelyn A. Sonko, USTAAI President, for the awarding ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, with much pride and honor, allow me to present to you the first and only special award for tonight, the Thomasian Family Award. This award is conferred upon a family whose members are all alumni of the university and who exemplify the Thomasian core values in their respective fields of expertise. And the 2022 Outstanding Thomasian Family Award is presented to the Kalimag family. Dr. Maria Minerva P. Kalimag and her late husband, Dr. Placido P. Kalimag Jr., were both Thomasian graduates and educators. The couple obtained their pre-medicine degrees at the UST College of Science and subsequently with a Doctor of Medicine degree at the UST Faculty of Medicine and Surgery. Their family is blessed with 8 children who finished their schooling from elementary, high school, college, up to postgraduate level from UST. At present, 7 out of 8 Kalimag children are proud Thomasian physicians serving on the front lines, and the youngest is also a future physician by 2023. Donning the golden hood of medicine, the Kalimag family bravely confronted the onslaught of the COVID-19 pandemic, like soldiers on the front line, to serve patients wherever they are needed. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kalimag family. Once again, a warm round of applause for this amazing Thomasian family. Thank you very much and congratulations. May we also acknowledge the presence on stage of Reverend Father Angel Aparicio OP, Prefect of Libraries. At this point, we shall be presenting to you the 10 outstanding Thomasian alumni who were chosen as deserving recipients of this year's total awards. May we request our awardees to please proceed to the center stage as we announce your name, accompanied by your Dean, Regent, and Alumni Association President. May we also request our ushers to please assist our awardees. For our first awardee, we present to you the 2022 Outstanding Thomasian Alumni for Medicine, Professor Maria Minerva P. Kalimag, MD, PhD. Dr. Maria Minerva P. Kalimag is a practicing anesthesiologist, a full professor of pharmacology and clinical epidemiology at the UST Faculty of Medicine and Surgery, and the pedagogical lead and professorial lecturer in various program offerings at the UST Graduate School. She holds international certifications in e-learning, e-health practices, health informatics, and data science collaborations. Dr. Kalimag continues to expand her research portfolio through various travel and research grants from local and international organizations. She remains proactive and holds various positions in different institutions, such as the Philippine Board of Anesthesiology, Professional Regulation Commission, Commission on Higher Education, Department of Science and Technology, National Research Council of the Philippines, Manila Medical Society, Philippine Medical Society, and many more. Proving to be a cut above the rest, she has won awards throughout her career, in the education sector and medical industry, like the PMA's Most Outstanding Physician Award, PRC Most Outstanding Professional, dangal ng UST Awards, 26th Quintin J. Gomez Awards Most Outstanding Filipino Anesthesiologist, 26th Dr. Jose Rizal Award for Most Outstanding Physician, Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipino Teacher in Higher Education, and Metrobank Foundation Fellowship in Public Service, to name just a few. Professor Maria Minerva P. Kalimag, MD, PhD, thank you so much and congratulations. We continue the presentation of awards with the 2022 Outstanding Thomasian Alumni for Health Allied, Dr. Saturnino P. Javier, to be accompanied on stage by Regent Reverend Father Pompeo de Mesa, OP, and Alumni Association President Maria de Jesus Manansala. Please join us on stage. May we ask our ushers to assist our guests. Dr. Saturnino P. Javier has always been an achiever. Besides graduating with honors, he was an active student leader and even became the Varsitarian's editor-in-chief in 1980. He took up medicine and continued his medical journey at the UST Hospital, where he became the chief resident of the Internal Medicine Department. His excellent rating landed him in a fellowship program in adult cardiology and interventional cardiology and intravascular ultrasonography in Washington, D.C., USA. Despite the greener pastures awaiting him abroad, he chose to pack up his bags and use his expertise in his homeland. He practiced interventional cardiology in Makati Medical Center and Asian Hospital and Medical Center, and devoted his time to continuing medical education through out-of-town lectures, colloquia, postgraduate courses, conferences, and symposia. His commitment to the cause made him an active participant in improving the status of medical practice and education in the Philippines. He also spearheaded the establishment of the Philippine Health Research Ethics Networks and headed the Institutional Review Board of Makati Medical Center. Dr. Javier is currently the Medical Director of the Makati Medical Center and has won various awards. In 2020, he was awarded Gawad Bayani ng Kalusugan by the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Dr. Saturnino P. Javier, congratulations. The qualifications of our awardees for Medical and Health Allied are true tongue twisters. For our next award, we present to you the 2022 Outstanding Thomasian Alumni for Science and Technology. This award is presented to Dr. Edgar V. Lerma. Representing Dr. Lerma is the current Dean of the UST College of Science, Professor Ray Donnie S. Papa, PhD. May we also invite the Regent of the College of Science, Reverend Father Louis R. Coronel, OP-EHL. Dr. Edgar Lerma is a nephrologist and a clinical professor of medicine in the section of nephrology at the University of Illinois in Chicago. He has visiting professorships with the St. Luke's College of Medicine, UST Faculty of Medicine and Surgery, and the College of Science. He completed his residency in internal medicine at UIC Mercy Hospital and Medical Center, where he also served as the chief resident. He completed his fellowship in nephrology and hypertension at Northwestern Memorial Hospital, the Feinberg School of Medicine at Northwestern University, and the Veterans Administration Lakeside Medical Center in Chicago, Illinois. Dr. Lerma has published 26 books and authored more than 100 peer-reviewed publications and presentations about CKD, hypertension, bone and mineral disorders, and, let me get this correct, dyslipidemias Is that correct? May I ask our physicians? Dyslipidemias in CKD. This is harder than I thought. He has received numerous Patients' Choice Awards, Compassionate Doctor Recognitions, and Professorial Lecture Awards. Recently, he was honored with a Distinguished Physician Award by the Philippine Medical Association of Chicago. Congratulations to Dr. Edgar V. Lerma. Thank you so much, Dean Ray Donnie Papa. For the 2022 Outstanding Thomasian Alumni for Accountancy, Business and Management, we have 2 Thomasian alumni who truly excelled and were chosen specifically according to their respective fields of expertise. The 2022 Outstanding Thomasian Alumni Awardee for Management is Secretary Ramon M. Lopez, MDE. May we invite Regent Reverend Father Orlando C. Aceron, OP, to join Secretary Lopez on stage. A proud graduate of UST High School, Department of Trade and Industry or DTI Secretary Ramon M. Lopez exemplified his alma mater's core values as he continues to advocate and initiate government programs to empower the youth and aspiring entrepreneurs and underprivileged sectors, including PWDs, women, and out-of-school youths. His solid professional economic, trade, and industry development career in the government led to his appointment as the DTI Secretary. Under his helm, the department focused on the development of the micro, small, and medium or MSME sector. He led the Ease of Doing Business Anti-Red Tape Authority Council, pushed for an inclusive, innovative industrialization strategy, and worked on major reforms for stronger investment inflows like the Corporate Recovery and Tax Incentives for Enterprises, Retail Trade Liberalization Act, Foreign Investment Act, and Public Service Act. Secretary Lopez has received several awards during his term, such as the 2016 Nation Builders Award for Government Service, Philippine Innovation Man of the Year Award 2017, President Duterte's Order of Sikatuna, and People Asia's 2020 People of the Year. Secretary Ramon M. Lopez, MDE, thank you and congratulations. And the 2022 Outstanding Thomasian Alumni Awardee for Business is Engineer William T. Bello. May we invite Reverend Father Roberto Luanzon Jr., OP, STHD, Regent, and Alumni Association President, Engineer Jason Ong, to join them on stage. Thomasian Engineer William T. Bello is the founder and chairman emeritus of Wilcon Depot, Incorporated, and the founder and chairman of Wilcon Corporation. He is an ordinary but focused man with a strong desire to be of service to Filipino homeowners. From a small hardware store on Quezon Avenue, he expanded his operations and opened big stores with a wide variety of products and has established a name trusted by many industry professionals, home enthusiasts, and homeowners nationwide. Besides his commitment to the construction industry, Engineer Bello remains compassionate with those in need through his socio-civic institution called Wilcon Foundation. It aims to provide education assistance to underprivileged children, extend help to victims of calamities, and make global efforts to save the environment. In 1988, he ventured out to integrated poultry, piggery, and crocodile farms. Engineer Bello also dedicated himself to the conservation of crocodiles in the country and served as the treasurer of Crocodilus Porosus Philippines Incorporated until today. His influence and competence across industries has earned him the Grand MVP Bossing Award and the Philippine Retailers Association's President's Outstanding Filipino Retailer Award. Engineer William T. Bello, thank you so much and congratulations. At this juncture, we shall confer the award for the 2022 Outstanding Thomasian Alumni for the category of Service to Humanity. This award is given to Mr. Jeffrey O. Tarayaw, MS. We would like to invite Regent, Reverend Father George Femang, OP, and Dean Professor Marilu Madruño, PhD, to join them on stage. Conferred as the Thomasian Young Achiever of the Outstanding Thomasian Alumni Awards in 2008, Jeffrey Ochoa Tarayaw continues to excel in managing corporate social responsibility, corporate foundations, community relations, sustainability strategy and reporting, and communications. Mr. Tarayaw is currently the Chief Corporate Social Responsibility Officer of the Manila Electric Company, or Meralco, and the President of One Meralco Foundation. Prior to Meralco, he served as the Head of Community Relations and CSR of Globe Telecom for 8 years. As president of One Meralco, he has expanded its community electrification program and has provided electricity service to at least 60,000 low-income households in the Meralco franchise area in the past 10 years. His foundation's school electrification program has energized 260 remote public schools, benefiting 83,000 students through Meralco's standalone solar power systems. The CSR program has been recognized in the Platts Global Energy Awards 2013 and International Business Award in 2015 and 2016. Throughout his career, Mr. Tarayaw has garnered awards and was chosen as one of Asia's 21 Fellows of the Asia Society in 2011, Manila's 40 Under 40 International Development Leaders in 2012, and Asia New Zealand Foundation's Asia's Young Business Leaders in 2014. Mr. Jeffrey O. Tarayaw, MS, thank you and congratulations. Our next award is the 2022 Outstanding Thomasian Alumni for Music, Arts, Literature, and Design. This award is presented to Mr. Nemesio R. Miranda Jr. We would like to invite Regent Reverend Father Edgardo D. Alaurin, OP, STHD, and Dean Assistant Professor Mary Cristique, MS, LPT, to join them on stage. An artist, painter, and sculptor, Nemesio R. Miranda Jr. has been known as the father of imaginative figurism. Currently, he manages the Nemiranda Art House Gallery. His works focus on the topics of folklore, family, love, and environment. He creatively captures the scenes depicting the mystic charm of his hometown, which is Angono, Rizal. He is considered an influential art leader in Angono's thriving art community and founded the renowned Angono Atelier Association in 1975. To further promote his hometown, he founded the Angono Tourism Council in 1994 and the Gigante Makers and Sculptors Society in 2006. He institutionalized the first school of painting in Angono in 1991 called the Angono Visual Arts School, which was later transformed into Angono School for the Arts. Mr. Miranda has garnered numerous awards and recognitions, such as the Shankar's International Art Competition in 1964, Grand Prize Philippine Judiciary Art Competition in 1998, and National Commission for Culture and Arts, Lampara ng Kultura at Sining in 2019. Recently, he was nominated for the National Artists Award administered by the NCCA and the Cultural Center of the Philippines. Mr. Nemesio R. Miranda Jr., thank you and congratulations. At this point, we present to you the 2022 Outstanding Thomasian Alumni Awardee for Law and Justice. Attorney Nilo T. Divina. We would like to invite the Regent of the Faculty of Civil Law, Reverend Father Isidro Abano, OP, STHL, MA, and Attorney Divino's family to join him on stage. A seasoned corporate and banking lawyer with more than 30 years of experience, Attorney Nilo Divina has been equally active with his role in the academe as the current Dean of the UST Faculty of Civil Law and a professor at the UB College of Law, handling commercial law review. From being a consistent scholar and an active student leader in his university days, Attorney Divina continued to display excellence during his practice as the Executive Vice President, General Counsel, and Corporate Secretary of Equitable PCI Bank. He also served as the General Manager and Executive Advisor to the Board and Corporate Secretary of the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office. In 2006, he established Divina Law and made it one of the country's biggest law firms with a wide clientele base. He continues to make his contributions to the legal community through publications and has authored 5 books on commercial law. He has continuously written articles for his column at the Daily Tribune called A Dose of Law for 3 years. Throughout his career, Attorney Divina was able to garner numerous awards. In 2021, he was named the Managing Partner of the Year at the Asian Legal Business Philippine Law Awards and the Philippine Client Choice Lawyer by the Asian Legal Business. He was labeled as one of the 500 leading lawyers in 2017 by the Intercontinental Finance and Law magazine. Attorney Divina has also been consistently included in Asia Business Law Journal's Top 100 Lawyers in the Philippines for 3 consecutive years since 2018. Attorney Nilo T. Divina, thank you and congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present to you the 2022 Outstanding Thomasian Alumni Awardee for the Service to the Church category, His Eminence Jose F. Cardinal Advincula. To receive the award on Cardinal Advincula's behalf is Reverend Father Isaias Tionco, OP JCD, Vice Rector. Appointed by the Holy Father on March 25, 2021, Jose Fuerte Cardinal Advincula is the Metropolitan Archbishop of Manila. He was ordained as a priest for the Archdiocese of Capiz in 1976 and was later appointed Spiritual Director of St. Pius X Seminary, also acting as Professor and Dean of Studies. He took up canon law at the Pontifical University of St. Thomas Aquinas Angelicum in Rome. Upon returning home, he served in the Seminary of Nueva Segovia in Vigan, in the Regional Seminary of Haro, then in St. Pius X in Capiz. He became a pastor in Dao and was appointed Bishop of San Carlos in 2001, where he received episcopal consecration a few months later. In 2011, he was transferred to the Metropolitan See of Capiz. Within the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, he has served as a member of the Commission for the Doctrine of the Faith and the Commission for Indigenous Peoples. In his 4 decades of presbyteral and episcopal ministry, Cardinal Advincula has been known for his pastoral programs, reaching out to communities and establishing mission stations and mission schools in far-flung areas in the dioceses of San Carlos and Capiz. He was created and proclaimed cardinal by Pope Francis in the consistory of November 28, 2020. He is a member of the Congregation for the Clergy. His Eminence, Jose F. Cardinal Advincula, thank you so much and congratulations. Our last award for tonight is the 2022 Outstanding Thomasian Alumni for Media and Entertainment. This award is conferred to Dr. Crispin C. Maslog. May we invite on stage our Regent, Reverend Father George Pemang, OP, and our Dean, Professor Marilu Madruño, PhD, DFAMS. Dr. Crispin C. Maslog is a former journalist and a widely published writer and author of 39 books in communication, journalism, mass media, and communication. After obtaining his doctorate in mass communication from the University of Minnesota, he became the director of the School of Journalism and Communication at the prestigious Silliman University. As the university publications director, he produced a new generation of community newspaper journalists and publishers. In 1982, he served as a professor at the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, and built his expertise and reputation in development journalism and development communication there. Dr. Maslog also traveled abroad as a visiting professor and lecturer teaching intercultural communication at several universities, namely the University of North Dakota, Nanyang Technological University, Minnesota State University, and American College of Norway. In recognition as a stalwart in journalism and communication, he has been given numerous awards, such as the AMIC Asia Communication Award in 2011, UST Phillips Foundation's Golden Owl Award in 2006 as an Outstanding Alumnus, and Philippine JC Senate's the Outstanding Filipino or TOEFL Award in 1995. In 2009, he was also honored with an American Indian name, bestowed by the Lakota Indians in Fort Yales, North Dakota, for his work teaching English to American Indians at Sitting Bull College, Fort Yales. Currently, Dr. Maslog is a science columnist in a London-based science communication news feature service called SciDev.net. He is also the chairperson of AMIC's Board of Directors, a senior consultant in the Asian Institute of Journalism and Communication, and an associate supervisor for PhD students at the University of Sydney. Dr. Crispin C. Maslog, thank you and congratulations. And now may we invite back on stage our individual 2022 total awardees for a photo opportunity with Father Rector, USTAAI President, Professor Sonko, and OAR Director, Assistant Professor Fredeswindo Medina. May we ask our ushers to assist our individual total awardees to the stage for a group photo. What an illustrious group. Every batch of total awardees exemplifies the Thomasian values of competence, compassion. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we give you our 2022 total awardees. Once again, congratulations to all of our 2022 total awardees. We hope that you will continue to inspire the entire Thomasian community and live up to the Thomasian legacy of excellence. Thank you also, Very Reverend Father Richard Ang, Assistant Professor Fredeswindo Medina, and Dr. Evelyn Sonko. We would also like to invite Dr. Sonko to introduce the selection committee.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, it is my pleasure and honor to introduce to you the members of the selection committee, the people behind this night's awarding. Mr. Leo Reingen, a total awardee. Ms. Angeli Tuason, the chair of the Thomasian Alumni Leaders Association. Miss Inocencia Tionco is in the United States. She is the vice president of the UST Alumni Association. Architect Anton Villanueva, vice president of Sacsargen Alumni Association. Architect Yolanda Reyes, a total awardee. Assistant Professor for Deswindo Medina, Director of the Office for Alumni Relations. Reverend Father Louis Coronel, OP, our Secretary General. Reverend Father Pompeo de Mesa, OP, the Ecclesiastical Advisor of the USTAAI. And the Chair, Justice Teresita V. Diaz Baldos, Chair. 2016 Total Awardee. Thank you very much to our selection committee.
Thank you so much, Dr. Songko. Thank you so much to our selection committee. We know that it was such a difficult process for you, and we don't envy you the task of having to choose among our unbelievably talented, committed, compassionate, our alumni move this world. We have been here for over 400 years, and we will be here for centuries more. I am Arts and Letters class of 93, and I stand here proudly. I stand on the shoulders of giants. Thank you for being our inspiration, teaching us to be inspirations to further batches, to further generations of Thomasians in our own small way. As we near the end of our ceremony, may we welcome again on stage Dr. Crispin C. Maslog to deliver his response message on behalf of all the awardees for this evening. Let's give him a warm round of applause.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. It has been a long evening, I'm sure. Very Reverend Father Richard Ang, Rector of the Royal and Pontifical University of Santo Tomas, founded in 1611, the oldest university in the Philippines, older than the oldest university in the United States, which is Harvard University, founded in 1636. Fellow awardees, distinguished guests, including the fathers who are here, who are distinctive in their long gowns. I cannot name all of you, but greetings just the same. Good evening. Let me start with a disclaimer. As a matter of fact, a series of disclaimers. It is not true that I've been asked to deliver the response tonight in the name of my fellow awardees because I am the most distinguished among them. I am sure my fellow awardees will disagree with that violently. Also, I am not here because I am the most famous. Although my mother, bless her soul, always told me that among her children, I was the most popular and I had the most friends. And certainly, it is not true that I was asked to deliver this response because I am the most handsome. Will my assistants please show the picture on the board? That was me 40 years ago. This is 1960. Okay. The other slide, please. My graduation photo in 1956. So my mother, I think, had reason to think I was handsome. But that was a long time ago, no? I am, well, not quite, but almost like what I was 50 years ago. The honor that this royal and pontifical, please take that away now. The honor that this royal and pontifical university is giving me tonight. Pardon my voice, I will recover part of it later. I am sure brings back to my fellow awardees the memories of their youth as students in this distinguished university, the leisurely evening walks around this lovely tree-lined campus. No holding hands during my time yet. The chikahan at the canteen, I will use my eyeglasses now. The excitement during enrollment, during fraternity hazing weekends, and during exam weeks. I still remember how thrilled I was as a 19-year-old provinciano from Tagbiararan, Bohol, to enter the portals of this university. Oops. Did I tell you I am 90 years old? So when I came here, I was 19 years old. a provinciano from Bohol. And I was thrilled to enter the portals of this university in July of 1950 in the company of my cousin, Maria. May her soul rest in peace, who was enrolled in the same Faculty of Philosophy and Letters. That seemed like an eternity ago. Our Lit B classes, Bachelor of Literature in Journalism, the library and the museum then were on the first and second floors of the iconic main building, somewhere there, I think, reputed to be earthquake-proof. I think it has withstood the earthquake since then. The women wore uniforms, blue skirts and white blouses. Do you still wear them today? Okay. But the men did not. We had a radio station on the rooftop floor of the main building. And I remember playing a role in a romantic radio drama as the Romeo. And my director criticized me because I did not deliver my lines like I was in love. Wala akong empathy, I think. At that time, I did not have a syuta yet. So how was I to know how to sound like I was in love? Kakainis, ano? So, to make a long story short, I finished my Lit B in 1956. Okay, my it's too near. And started working as copy editor of Agence France Press in Aduana, Intramuros. Malapit lang. I took the jeep at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was there at 4:15, coming from Quiapo, where I was staying. And I stayed there for 4 years. And at the same time, I was taking part-time my classes in Bachelor of Philosophy. That was my second degree. And finished it in 1960. Now, I will confess to you a secret, and I hope Father Alfredo Panizo, O.P., may his soul rest in peace. My dean at the time will forgive me because I will make a confession. After I finished my master's degree in journalism at the University of Minnesota in 1962, Father Panizo wrote me to ask me to, in secret, to return as Secretary of the Faculty of Philosophy and Letters. I politely turned him down and went on to finish my doctorate in mass communication. I wonder what would have happened to my career if I had accepted Father Panizo's offer. When I returned in 1967, I went to Silliman University as director of their new School of Journalism and Communication. I produced a whole generation of community journalists, editors and publishers, and radio broadcasters in the Visayas for the next 15 years, and they are still around to this day. And the rest, as they say, is history. Because since then, I went to University of UP Los Baños and became a professor in development communication and started another career developing communicators to develop our countryside. Now, I will switch a little to another topic because I know I would be remiss in my acceptance speech if I did not refer to the May 9 elections. That had just brought back a nightmare from the past. I am sure you have that in your mind, but some of you may not want to speak about it. And if I know the ethos, the ethics, and the enduring values of a Thomasian, I think most of you will agree with what I have to say in the next few minutes. I will try to make it short and sweet and finish within the 15 minutes allotted me from here on. Don't count the earlier 15 minutes. I have a warning though. Those who will not agree with what I have to say may leave the room now, except Father Rector. Joke only. At the risk of being criticized in making a political acceptance speech, I have to talk about the recent presidential election. As the awardee for media and entertainment, I'm the only one, so I am the only one with the right to speak about this topic. I will talk about social media and its role in the election of the new president. I will not touch on entertainment. I leave that to Senator-elect Robin Padilla and Rafi Tulfo, who will entertain the new Congress. He will be the entertainers there. I must say that it pains me to see another Marcos as the next president of the Philippines. Pardon my sentiments. If you disagree, please do not do it too violently. It seemed like only yesterday, in 1986, when my wife and I, with our two young children, rallied at EDSA and kicked out the older Marcos out of the country. Somebody tell me now, how did this déjà vu happen? I've been thinking about the answers to this question in the last few days while watching the election campaign, reviewing the ominous Pulse Asia survey results, viewing the magnificent Vice President Leni rallies, and riding the tidal wave of endorsements from many credible sectors of Philippine society. The major celebrities in the music and entertainment industry, movie, stage personalities, artists, and intellectuals and leaders of various sectors of society, educators, scientists, justices, retired government bureaucrats from the past administration, even the religious sectors, bishops, nuns, and priests, including Thomasians who are probably here, expressing support by the thousands as groups in their private capacities. A wave of volunteerism also emerged from all walks of life and of all ages. The youth volunteered, rolling up their sleeves, and committed their time, talent, and treasure to help get VP Leni elected. It was a volunteer-driven campaign that brought hundreds of thousands of pink-clad supporters to the rallies and knocking on doors of households. There were lawyers for Leni, women for Leni, teachers for Leni, kasambahays for Leni, including our kasambahay, with writers for Lenny, artists for Lenny, workers for Lenny, doctors for Lenny, nurses for Lenny, creators for Lenny, students for Lenny, IT experts for Lenny, lolas for Lenny, basketball players for Lenny, even mga guwapo for Lenny. This spirit of volunteerism drew a historical parallel to the time of former President Corazon Aquino some 40 years ago. In the 1986, both women were widows, both were running against a Marcos, and both inspired volunteerism. Unfortunately, the parallelism ends there. Corazon Aquino won, and Lenny Robredo did not. Is it true that the impressive rallies did not cascade enough votes to sweep VP Lenny to power? We're left in shock, asking why. Well, they're rebranding the Marcos image. There are two theories to explain the Marcos victory. A conspiracy theory that says that the computer program was manipulated to give out the desired results. Whether the conspiracy theory holds water, I really do not know, and I will not venture to guess. The second theory is what the Bongbong Marcos victory is due to his army, the millions of trolls, and he started planning for this election more than 8 years ago. As early as 2014, Bongbong Marcos approached the political data company, Cambridge Analytica, to rebrand the Marcos family image, and on social media, according to Cambridge Analytica employee turned whistleblower Brittany Kaiser, Kaiser described the Marcos' plan to rebrand their family as historical revisionism. Historical revisionism is data-driven and scientific. You undertake just enough research to figure out what people believe about a certain family, individual, politician, and then you figure out what could convince them to feel otherwise. The goal would be to keep running both until you actually start to see people's opinions and attitudes changing, says Kaiser. The strategy involved two parts: downplaying or denying outright the kleptocracy and human rights violations during the martial law years, and second, exaggerating the old Marcos achievements while vilifying his critics, rivals, and mainstream media. The creation of new pages per month ramped up in 2014, around the time that the former First Lady Imelda first mentioned that she wanted her son to run for president. Bongbong Marcos eventually ran for vice president in the 2016 elections when he lost to Vice President Lenny Robredo. Marcos filed a protest and finally lost. New fan pages for Marcos continued after the 2016 elections and into the months heading up to the 2019 elections, when Bongbong Marcos' sister, Amy Marcos, ran for the Philippine Senate. Rappler says that as early as 2014, ahead of the 2016 elections, popular Facebook page Pinoy Rap Radio tried to dispute the truth about the Marcos wealth. In 2000, Pinoy Rap Radio was not the only viral content page involved. Months after Pinoy Rap Radio, a post denying Marcos' guilt, various accounts and pages on Facebook reported the claim. Pages that iterate the same message include Blessed Be Philippines, Team Marcos, the Universal Movement, the Pandora's Box, and Batang Marcos, among others. Altogether, these false claims have logged millions of impressions on Facebook and YouTube. Apart from attempting to erase the history of abuse and corruption by the Marcoses during martial law years, the claims have recurring themes. What is often described as shocking information is generally portrayed as having been hidden from the public by historians and the biased press. Messages posted in groups and pages mentioned by Rappler typically glorify the virtues of authoritarian rule. To a significant extent, the campaign focused on disputing or revising historical accounts about the Marcos' ill-gotten wealth. Architects of network disinformation. Please note that this network of disinformation was already harnessed by President Rodrigo Duterte back in 2016 when he ran for president. Duterte also had an army of trolls led by their generals dubbed as social media influencers, which contributed greatly to the election and continues to blindly support him to this day. As early as 2017, a well-researched landmark study, Architects of Network Disinformation, 2017, by two Filipino millennials, Jonathan Corpus Ong and Jason Vincent Cabanes, documented the role of trolls and fake news in the victory of then-candidate Rodrigo for the presidency. According to its authors, no technology has been weaponized at such an unprecedented global scale as social media. In the Philippines, the names on the lips of political pundits and the mainstream press are those of the social media influencers. Lessons learned. We did not see this coming, or we saw it but did not believe it possible, or we were too bewildered to react. Probably sums up the Filipino people's reaction to the Marcos comeback victory. There are lessons to be learned, certainly. Some say we did not treasure the lessons of EDSA enough, and that EDSA was a failure. At that time, I advocated for the setting up of a truth commission to put the Marcos regime on trial and judgment. But we were too busy celebrating our victory. We went ahead to revise our constitution to guarantee freedom of speech. And we allowed the next president, Rodrigo Duterte, to chip away at our freedoms, starting with the closing down of ABS-CBN, followed by the taking down of Supreme Court Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno, and the imprisonment of Senator Laila de Lima. Remember? The president went on to bastardize free speech with his dirty jokes that corrupted the morals of our younger generation and demean government transactional language. You deal with a foreigner president and you call him a son of a bitch. One lesson I learned is that famous phrase attributed to many people, including Thomas Jefferson, that quote, eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. I hate to imagine what is going to happen next. The Marcos Project to revise Philippine history has just begun. Good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Crispin Maslog, for that inspirational message. There are so many things going through all of our minds right now after that speech. But I would like to personally say that as a journalism major, Dr. Maslog, you make me so proud to be a Thomasian journalist. And you will be very pleased to know that this university has produced and continues to produce some of the finest journalists this country has ever seen. I would also like to dispute your speech. The only lie in your speech is that you are 90 years old. None of us believes you are 90 years old. You said you're not the most popular, the most handsome. The only lie is that you are 90 years old. We do not believe you. Also, I am glad that I became a Thomasian after the period that there was no longer a prefect of discipline for the university. I'm very, very glad. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you again our beloved rector, the very Reverend Father Richard G. Ang, OP, PhD, for his closing remarks. Let's give him a warm round of applause.
For the past 2 years, we were not privileged to hold the Outstanding Thomasian Alumni Total Awards, since the university needed to focus her energies and efforts on addressing the challenges and the issues of the pandemic. I am pleased to say that the golden opportunity to hold it has finally come. Carpe diem. First and foremost, I very much appreciate the hard work and dedication of the selection committee, working committee, and organizing committee in making today's event possible. And I acknowledge the diligence they put into the screening and short-sighting of the names of the candidates this year. It is quite an impressive list of luminaries, a list which of course includes the very good Archbishop of Manila and a family of doctors. The Total Awards is the highest recognition bestowed by the University of Santo Tomas and the UST Alumni Association Incorporated upon select Thomasian alumni who exemplify competence, commitment, and compassion in their personal life and professional practice, the hallmarks of our Catholic and Thomasian identity. and it is a great privilege and encouragement being recognized by your peers and by your beloved alma mater. I truly believe you all carry the required Thomasian graduate attributes. And I am honored to have conferred to our awardees the most prestigious recognition given by UST to her outstanding alumni. These awardees, these people not only shine, they also illumine. They do not need actually any affirmation, since we cannot reduce their achievements and their resplendence into high praises and resounding applause. Their respective contributions speak for themselves as they mirror the splendor of their true worth and dignity in God's image. They are indeed living treasures of the university and living examples of what the university stands for, veritas in caritate. They attract goodness and inspire greatness among our younger breed of students and alumni. Their arduous journey to excellence is a beautiful story all Thomasians can emulate. Their road to success was never easy, but nevertheless was achieved because they kept rolling their boulders safely to the top of the hill. Sometimes we have to make a habit out of our own efforts. As Aristotle would say, one sparrow does not make a spring. The total award is an expression of mutual honor and gratitude, as UST recognizes the achievements of her sons and daughters. They in turn laud and acknowledge UST for nurturing their talents and capacity for greatness, emboldening them to take on the formidable challenges of life, inspiring others to keep pushing their boulders to the summit of the hill. My dear awardees, I hope you will value the real meaning of all the medals and honors you have received today. With them comes the responsibility to live up to the highest expectations exacted from a Thomasian outstanding alumnus or alumna. With it comes the responsibility to continue to grow and leave a lasting impact on our society. An old maxim reminds us that grace begins with gratitude, and the thankful heart flows abundantly as the Spirit soars. Tonight is a night of grace, and I can't possibly think of any better way to celebrate God's blessings with all of you in the virtual company of our dear Thomasians across the globe than to share with you my joy and my pride in what you have achieved. We hope that you will continue to make the university proud of what you have become and of what you will still be capable of becoming. I am very proud of all of you, and you make me proud that I am a Thomasian. Congratulations to all our distinguished awardees. May God bless all of us, and may we have a peaceful transition. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Father Rector. Indeed, it is a night of grace, a night of celebration, a night of gratitude, and most importantly, a night to learn and be inspired to continue our integrity as Thomasians, to continue globally to light up the world with the light that we have within us as Thomasians. We illuminate the world, as Father Rector has said. We are everywhere. We are one, and we continue to be Thomasians From the day we graduate, from the day we begin our first day here, to the end of our days, we are Thomasians and we stand proud. Speaking of standing proud, may we invite everyone to rise as we sing the UST hymn. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our evening. On behalf of the University of Santo Tomas, the Office of Alumni Relations, the UST Alumni Association Incorporated, we wish to express our heartfelt thanks for joining us this evening. A million congratulations to this year's total awardees. Again, I'm Maita Oebanda, class of 93, Arts and Letters. It's been a pleasure to host this event. Enjoy the rest of the night and stay safe. Ladies and gentlemen, we still have some food available if you would like to